thousands get set to make their way into downtown Detroit for one of the most important games in Lions history. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Victor Williams in for Will Jones.
And I'm Pamela Osborne. Ron Hilliard joins us off at the desk, and we're talking about some of these conditions out there. Snow potentially causing some trouble, too.
That's right, Pamela. Victor, we are not yet done with all this messy weather. You see the camera shaking right there at Metro Airport in Romulus. We are now in for seeing more snow showers tonight, the dropping temperatures, and with the cold temperatures and those winds, that means very low wind chills. Right now, temperatures in the teens in many parts of the area. 19 Detroit, 17 Ann Arbor, 24 Lapeer, 18 in Monroe. Let's take a look at these wind chill values, though. Down to 1 degree for Ann Arbor and Metro Airport. Go out toward Jackson, 2 below zero. You see some improvement with the temperatures and the feel-like temperatures as you go up toward places like Lapeer. It's not quite as windy as of right now. So what are we seeing out there as it pertains to the snow that's coming down? A band of snow right now, anywhere from around 8 Mile on up into the 696 area, M59, all the way up to I-69. We're seeing some of those rates of snowfall coming down a little bit heavily right now, with some places picking up an inch or two and also some reduced visibility out there. Track 4D radar also showing that band of snow that is moving through the metro area. We are going to be seeing, again, some accumulation out of this and some quickly deteriorating road conditions. Getting a closer look, you can see some areas that are impacted right now. Farmington Hills, right around Southville, getting into the Royal Oak area, Warren, and also as you get into places like Waterford and Pontiac. Some of the places that saw some of the most snow from the snow that came through yesterday and this morning. So how much are we seeing out there across the area? Well, this is the area that picked up the most this morning from the system that came through. We saw some of those snow totals topping more than half a foot of snow in the area. Here are those totals right there. You can see Ortonville, we picked up 8.5 inches, White Lake 8 inches, Ann Arbor 6.3 inches, and about 6 inches in Richmond, Mount Clemens 5 inches, 4.7 for Romulus. We're going to have more coming up on how much more snow we can get and also those wind chill values, which will be dropping.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Now, as the temperature drops, DTE crews are working to restore power to thousands of customers.
No power means no heat, and that's leading to some tough choices for some families. Jacqueline Francis is live tonight after speaking with folks who are still waiting for the lights to get turned back on. Jacqueline?
This cold snap really couldn't come at a worse time, as many families in southeast Michigan are in the dark tonight. As you said, that means no heat. And while most people, 95% of the outages they say will be restored by tomorrow night, that's still not everyone.
And if you see, I'm actually wearing this jacket, I'm wearing another jacket, and then flannels.
Bundled up and hunkering down in the car, this is what no power looks like in Taylor.
Relying on the car, that takes quite a bit of gas just to stay warm.
As of Saturday night, around 50,000 DTE customers in southeast Michigan were in the dark. The restoration process has been underway since Friday night, when the winter storm took out tree branches and power lines. In DTE's latest update, officials said they'll have 70% of the outages restored by Saturday night and 95% by Sunday.
The damage that we're seeing in the field is unusual in that it's smaller areas of damage, but a lot of those areas.
More winter weather, including gusty winds, could bring more outages.
What we are seeing is that our most heavily damaged areas are the western portions of both Wayne and Oakland counties.
As crews work to tackle the outages, families are having to make tough decisions about where to go and what to do. How are you going to sleep tonight?
Believe it or not, I might do it in here. I'd sleep in here. I got a couple of blankets to probably get me going through the night, and hopefully early morning they can have it on.
Yeah, let's hope so. Now, warming centers are such an important resource to know about right now. DTE put out a list on their website. We also have a list on our website, clickondetroit.com. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Thank you, Jacqueline. The winter weather is still impacting flights all across the country. The flight tracking site FlightAware says that over 5,000 flights into, out of, or within the United States were delayed today. Over 1,500 were outright canceled. And check out this video sent to us via MyPics. It's the view from a plane that passengers saw as they made their way into DTW. The viewer says that they circled around the airport twice before having to be diverted to Cincinnati. At this hour, FlightAware says that there have been about 50 flights canceled today at Detroit Metro, with over 175 delays overall.
As the temperature continues to drop and the snow keeps falling, we want to remind you about how the city of Detroit prioritizes snow removal. Detroit has a 3-level system, which means highest priority roads come first, with residential streets, I should say, coming last. Residential streets are not typically plowed until at least 6 inches of snow has fallen. When a level 3 is reached, the city uses contractors, which are then assigned a district to plow. We have a full breakdown on how all of this works. All you have to do is click on our website, clickondetroit.com.
And turning now into the ongoing power struggle within the Michigan Republican Party, it's still unclear who the leader of the party is, but there was some movement today. A Michigan GOP group voted to keep Christina Caramo as the chairwoman.
In a press release, the Michigan Republican State Committee says it voted to reaffirm Christina Caramo as the chairwoman, saying rules were not followed in a separate party vote back on January 6th. The release also says at today's meeting, 7 members of the party were removed. Here are the names of those who were reportedly removed. You'll notice at the top of the list is headlined by Vice Chair Melinda Pago. It was Pago who was seen as, by some, as the party's acting chairwoman following last week's vote.
Now, in a statement, Caramo said in part, quote, "This is a happy day of remembrance because it represents a renewed unification of spirit and purpose within the Michigan Republican Party," end quote. But it does not end there. Just an hour ago, Melinda Pago responded to the vote, calling it a move that was not authorized. She also says an official meeting to elect a new chair will happen next Saturday in Lansing. We'll, of course, keep you updated on this evolving situation. And when you think of a winter storm, you probably don't think about a parade. But a lot of folks over in Ann Arbor were not going to let a little bit of snow stop them from celebrating this big win by the Wolverines.
I was chatting with Hobie. He was freezing cold, and he said, yeah, that is the case. Lots of people came out. The entire team marched through campus this afternoon as fans cheered them on for those who wanted a warmer setting. The school also held a celebration at the Chrysler Center.
We put you guys through some stuff now this past 5 years. But at no point in time did y'all turn your head and say, you know what, we're giving up on those guys. Y'all stuck with us. Y'all were just as much a part of this as the guys that were on the field putting the work in. Y'all supported, y'all stayed with us. So give yourselves a hand. Michigan will forever be in my heart and will always be in my heart. And I will be proud to be known as a Michigan man. And I love you all. Go Blue!
As I said, our own Hobie Artigue was at today's event. He's thawing out for us right now. He'll have much more from Ann Arbor later on tonight in sports.
And a Metro Detroit grandfather was at Briggs Stadium when the Lions won the World Championship back in 1957.
Wow.
His sons were at the Silverdome back in 1991 when the Lions beat the Cowboys in the playoffs.
And on Sunday night, the family will watch the first ever playoff game right at Ford Field. Priya Mann sat down with that diehard fan.
In 1957, David J. Boyce was with his dad at Briggs Stadium when the Lions beat the Browns to clinch a world championship. Tomorrow, David's son is taking him to Ford Field, hoping to see the start of a Super Bowl run.
I hope it's not once in a lifetime. That's the main thing.
Well, for you, it could be twice.
Well, yeah, it'd be twice for me.
The last time David J. Boyce saw a Lions team this good, he was just 10 years old.
Being there in the stands, watching them win after they were my idols through the 50s, watching them as a young boy, that was probably one of the biggest events of my life.
Now 77, this Clinton Township grandfather and his son are going to watch the Lions' first ever playoff game at Ford Field.
This has united this town, which it's needed for a long time.
This is about more than football. This is about redemption, grit, and legacy. What's getting you emotional?
My love for my family and my sons, and I guess it takes me back to the happy time, you know.
Boyce says he sees parallels between the Lions of the 50s and Dan Campbell's boys.
He's created a team all right? These guys love each other. I can see that coming through the screen. That's why I said I got to send this out. I got to tell people that I was at that game.
He'll be in Detroit Sunday night, all decked out in Honolulu blue, possibly watching history unfold.
It's a dream that I can pass on to my grandsons, and that's the little guy in the picture there, that hopefully they'll be able to go one day and see this great thing and pass it on.
In Clinton Township, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Thanks, Priya. We've got you covered for everything leading up to tomorrow's game right here on Local 4. Tune into our All-In Playoff Edition special tomorrow night at 6:30, and we'll get you ready with special interviews and profiles of some super fans that really make the game great.
Still ahead tonight, we've had the wind, the snow, the rain, but now it's the temperatures that are going to be the main concern. Ron breaks down the dangerous wind chill next.